I'm Kay, and I am here with a kit conspiracy layout for you guys. This is week 2, so I am using my Spectrum Sherbet kit. I also went and dug into my page maps. This one is from February of 2010, and I'm going to be using some thickers in place of my title. So that way, because I'm running out of large elements for this kit, but I have tons of small elements. So because this sketch only has one photo, I think I'm going to add a flip flap because I don't want to give up both of these photos. And then that'll also give me a great spot for a journaling, but it's not up front and on the layout. So now I have more room to play on my 8.5 by 11 layout instead of trying to make room for journaling. So I've pulled out these tropical colored pages, and I'm hoping I can get this blue to match with it, but I'm not really sure. I'm still on the fence about it, but I do have this gorgeous green, and this is the one that's going to be my base page. I'm going to cut it down, and my photos are going to go on the pink. And then I've got the yellow. So they're very tropical colors. I'm actually going to use this rounded notebook punch. Or edge punch for my yellow. So it's just going to have a small peak of yellow, but I think I add a few other elements. Now I have that washi box up in the left because I was going to add some washi tape to my yellow strip, but I got so involved with the blue pieces that I forgot about all the washi until I've already put my layout pretty much together. So what I'm doing is just matting my photos and getting my my pocket ready for my flip flap, and then that will be set off to the side. So that's actually going to be my front photo, and then the photo that we're going to be working with is the back photo that's going to get covered up by the pocket flip flop. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and cut out all the pieces that I want from this collage paper. I wasn't too interested in the seed packets or the flower over on, up at the top now, on my right now. Anyways, I wasn't too interested in that, but this one did have a really cool pattern on the opposite side. So I'm going to try to bring that in. And use up this paper before just tossing it. There's lots of pieces on the other side that I didn't care for either. And so I really liked the fact that I was able to cut up this collage paper and make it work in my favor for what I wanted it to do. And also this butterfly was just pretty, so I'm going to cut it out and then toss everything else. I don't think the butterfly is going to make it on the layout, but I try it anyways just to see. Because it definitely wasn't part of my plan, but we'll see if I can make it work. So for the strip down the center, like the sketch shows, I'm going to go ahead and just try to rip my my notebook punch in the size that I want it. Now I have to tell you guys, I cut this down to 8.5, but I forgot to cut it down to 11. So what I'm going to end up doing is taking my page protector and making it into a 9 by 12 page protector. Now, I've already done the 8.5 by 11 on the other side. And I've done this multiple times, to be honest. I forget to cut off to 11 inches and I end up making a 12-inch layout. So it doesn't bother me to have to add another 1/2 inch to this layout. I've got several branding strips that would work with this layout to make that happen. However, the other side, like I said, is 8.5 by 11. I've already done that page, so I will have to see what makes that layout stand out, and what paper I can use behind it to make it a 9 by 12. So it's not a big deal. Like I said, I've done it before. It's an oops that I always forget to do. All right, so I have decided I do like adding in the teal. So I figured out how it's like a puzzle. I figured out how I like having all of my pieces, and they're just going to mat my photo here, there, and everywhere, and then make it to where it looks like a purposely thoughtful collage. If that's a thing. And then, of course, I forgot to, I didn't forget, but I scuffed up all the edges using my edge distressor and then inked them all in black, so that way they stood up and popped off all of this green. If not, they kind of looked muted, and then just basically, they were blah. to be honest. And then of course I've got that pink border going around this gorgeous plant. Now I'm still scrapbooking my retreat videos, or my retreat photos that I started last week with the Life in Bloom collection. And I'm continuing because of the fact that what I had left over from the Spectrum Sherbet collection actually matched. So I feel like these layouts are all going to coexist perfectly together. So I just really wanted to, keep that going as long as they were matchy-matchy. And then this, of course, this plant, I'm not really familiar with it. It's a California plant, I'm assuming. We've got nothing like this in Nevada, let me tell you. For one, it's too green. And for two, it's too pretty. So we have nothing like this in Nevada. But I took a picture of this because it was such a unique kind of palm thing. And the flowers on it were just absolutely beautiful. And so I took my 2 little pictures. I wished I would have stepped back and took a couple like full-size pictures so I could see the whole plant, because the very next trip that I went, which was in April, so this was in October that I took this photo, and then next year in April, we went there again. They ripped this plant out of the ground, just like it was no big deal. And in my brain, it's like, what? Why would you do that? It's a perfectly good plant. It served, didn't serve its purpose, but it was good where it was. It wasn't impeding the road, or it wasn't blocking anybody's vision. It wasn't, in the way of a stop sign. It wasn't anything. It was at the end of a curb, and it looked marvelous. And they just took their machine thing and ripped it right out of the ground. And I just was devastated, probably because of the fact that, in Nevada, we don't have things like this. And so what we do have, we planted on purpose and wanted it there. And so for somebody to just be like, we don't want that there, and get rid of it, the Nevadans, they would have done everything to preserve its roots and replant it somewhere else. I mean, we would have repurposed it. Instead, they just, nope, that guy went out there, he cut all the fronds off, and then the other guy ripped the root out. And I was like, oh my God. So anyways, that was what I'm going to journal about, because I am glad that I got these photos, because now it does not exist. It's not there anymore. And of course, like Janet and all the other Californians, they just are like, oh, well, whatever. Okay. Because they have this stuff all over the place. And like I said, being in Nevada, we have to purposely plant our pretties. And if we're not happy with where it's at, we repurpose it. We find it a new home. Because if we rip it out, then we're stuck with nothing. Or sagebrush, and who wants that? So anyways, I went through all of my little bins and pulled out all things pink that I thought would work well with this layout. Now, the clear butterflies didn't really work, but I do have the one because I'm putting it on top of the photo, and I didn't really want to put a solid butterfly on the photo. So the clear butterfly worked there, but the other littler ones just didn't really work. So all I had was a yellow one and a pink one that were solid, not see-through, not acetate. And then of course I pulled out everything else. I've got, a film strip, a couple torn notebook pieces that look, like notebook pieces. And then a couple tickets and things like that. So not everything's going to make it on the layout for sure, but I wanted those options. I wanted to know exactly what it was that I had available before, just starting to glue everything down. And then I go through my bins one last time and, oh, shoot, I had that. So yeah, I definitely wanted to make sure that I had everything. Now, I used the sketch as a jumping off point, and then the white spot was supposed to be for my journaling until I decided that I was going to do a flip flap, and then I made the white spot just a basic base layer for my for another cluster, a large cluster that kind of goes up my page. And then of course the title piece is a cluster itself, and then I've got another cluster on the other side of the photo. So I really do like how this all ended up, except for the fact that I did add some gold, and it's the only gold piece that I have. So I pulled out my Dina Wakley gold ink, and I splattered some more gold. That way I had that color throughout my layout, instead of here's a title, woo, it matches magically. But now with the gold splatter, it blends in a little, not blends, but it actually serves a purpose. It looks like I meant to add the gold. So I really like that. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Like I said, this is the start of week 2. We are using our Spectrum Sherbet kit. And we being Janet Fritz and I. So Janet Fritz is my cohort in this Kit Conspiracy series that we do all month long. We do it twice a year, at least minimum of twice a year. And it's just, it gives us a great way to use up our kits. So please go check out her channel. And if you're interested in any more Kit Conspiracy layouts, here are 2 more for you guys to go check out. And I'll check y'all later. Bye.